Hi again. It's me. I am here with the voice actor for my game, who is actually a really good friend of mine, such a slay.
Yo.
Hi, speak up.
All right. Hi. On the internet, I go by nahazuno. So essentially, I'm just gonna be voicing Reed in Wake Me Up If You Need Me. And yeah.
Yeah, and for context, Wake Me Up If You Need Me is a visual novel that I am developing solo, and Nahazuno is the voice actor for Reed, who is the love interest, and it'll be available on March 31st for people in the West and April 1st for people who live in Asia,
Mhm.
like us.
Yep.
So, going on to, or like jumping onto the topic of voice acting, right? So,
Mhm.
you're Reed's voice actor, right?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been voice acting for?
All right.
Exactly.
So I am what you call an amateur. So basically, I just in terms of my extensive list of experience, no, it's just one gig in high school where they asked me to voice another character. I didn't have a microphone and I knew jack about editing, so I just recorded myself in a hot car crunching out voice lines, and I'm pretty sure that's like a shared experience with all voice
Dude,
actors.
I
Yeah.
remember I remember when you were telling me about the car. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm recording in a car. And I was like, why? And you said for an animatic, or was it an animation? I forgot.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mine would be because I do my share of voice acting too. If the people here don't know, I have an old channel and I did voice acting on that channel. But I would just record under a blanket and I would have no ventilation in my room. And it was very hot and sweaty. It is very much a shared experience. But like speaking of like recording in a car or like under a blanket as
Hmm.
well,
Yeah.
since your audio sounds very good now, what's
Hmm.
your setup?
Oh, wow. Essentially, I just graduated from using my phone to just getting a Blue Yeti with a condenser and pop filter. I'm currently unaware of the brands of the condenser and pop filter. I just got the ones that look good enough to use. This is just my first few rodeos of getting started. So yeah.
Honestly, I think the Blue Yeti mic is basically everyone's or like most people's starting mic. It's either
Hmm.
like the Blue Yeti or like the Snowball.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
What software do you use though for like for
Oh,
editing audio?
okay, okay. So I essentially just use Adobe Audition to try and clean up the audio, the all of the background noise
Mhm.
for the voice lines that I do. Not saying I'm the best at it, but um I think I do enough so that you don't hear a jet turbine in the background or like someone speaking. As long as you don't hear anybody else but me in the voice lines, then I think it's all right. But other people have also just been helping me along the way with voice, just cleaning up the voice lines and just making them good.
Honestly, Adobe Audition, I use Audacity because Adobe Audition, you have to pay for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such is
And
the
I'm
price.
I'm broke.
Okay.
But
Mm.
like honestly, voice acting, it's either a really cheap hobby or a very expensive hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And since we're on the topic of voice acting still as
Yeah.
like being a hobby or whatever, what do you do aside from it?
Oh, okay. So aside from voice acting, what I mostly do is I'm currently studying animation, and I post art online about my characters and the world I'm building, hopefully towards actually eventually animating them in the future. So stay tuned for my socials if ever I do get to post them. I really want to just be more active the longer I'm in this, I'm doing this so that you just get to see what I'm doing too. So yeah.
Honestly, like I've seen your art over the years. Please, please, please look at his art. Go look in the description. His Instagram is right there. Go to his
Mhm,
Instagram. You will see what I'm talking about. He
mhm.
is so goated. You are actually like
Oh,
I will admit you are like one of my like art inspirations.
no, well,
Basically, like
thanks.
I see
Thanks.
your art and I go like shit, I want to do better.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a
Okay.
universal feeling experienced, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, like we just push each other.
That's true. That's true.
Anyways, right. On the topic of wake me up if you need me, or we could just shorten it to wake me up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
Inside. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
what do you okay. What do you I'm very curious. What do you think of the character that you're playing, aka Reed? Like, do you maybe see some similarities between Reed
Oh.
and yourself?
All right, all right. So when I sort of think about the character I'm playing, initially what struck me was it's really challenging to play characters that have a monotonous delivery. My
Mm,
tendency to overreact in some lines usually has me toning it down a lot on the second or third or fourth take.
oh
But
yeah.
the similarities I've seen between the character and myself, well, I know the developer initially said they based the character's personality on me, but honestly, I do know some people like this in real life. So it's really funny to try and pick some elements that I feel would add to him because I think uh I think we've all had a read in our lives at one point. so so yeah. Yeah.
Just a read in all of our lives.
Hmm.
Sometimes our lives just need a little bit of read.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I get your tendency to overreact in some lines because a lot of like roles in general are very much just dramatic and stuff because usually um well, since you can't really see the face of the actor, it's
Hmm.
very hard to like convey an emotion
It's true. It's
or
true.
yeah, or a feeling without seeing the face because the face and body language are such important components to acting,
Hmm.
which makes voice acting really hard.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Wake Me Up,
Hmm.
um since I am the developer
Hmm.
and basically I'm doing everything. God, it's the middle of midterms. Midterms started on March 1st
Yeah.
and NaNoReNo started on March 1st too. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to like get through my exams while
Yes.
making a game. It's horrible. But
Mm.
while Wake Me Up is in development, I am also curious, what do you think of it so far? And like, how do you think Wake Me Up will be received by others after being published? Maybe by like your friends or friends of friends? I'm not sure. But like, what do you think, like in general?
All right. So, having been told the concept of it, I just think calling someone in Discord late at night probably rings true for a lot of people. So I found the premise pretty interesting from the get-go. And it sort of amazes me how much development arose in 1 month. Assets like art and music to coding for the game and the website. Because like these visual
Mm,
novels take time, so it just genuinely surprises me how much could be done with the time given for the game jam. And as
mm,
for how Wake Me Up will be received by others after being published, I just think that a good story well told is what people are just always looking for, and especially in one shots like these. you know Everything is tied in, like tied all into the story. So
mm.
people really I just hope people will really appreciate the amount of work given to the visual novel, and I just hope that they tell their friends to play it.
Yeah, everyone, tell yourself and your friends to play
Tell your
it.
friends and family.
Your
Yeah.
friends and family.
Yes.
Like imagine just telling your mom, "Hey mom, I'm in a game." Your mom
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "What?
What?
What? Stop playing jokes." Honestly, for like the development of Wake Me Up or visual novels in general,
Mhm.
games in general, it is time consuming.
Yeah.
And game jams really force you to sit down and be creative.
Mhm.
And it also teaches you to manage your time wisely. Because
Mhm.
this is actually not the first game jam that I've ever participated in.
Mhm.
And I've participated in one, and like I've actually participated in like a few before, but I mainly participated as a composer for, well, a few games.
Mhm.
And the first one I participated in as a developer was called Velux Turbo,
Mm.
and it went on for 4 days.
Mm.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
4 days.
The shortest game jam I've seen, actually, the most
Yeah.
insane one. So you know daylight saving times, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and for the people at home that actually do experience daylight saving time, you will get what I mean by this game jamming crazy. Because like this game jam is basically just make a game from scratch. You can have an outline, you can have a rough draft or rough sketches before the game jam starts. But essentially, you know that gap during the daylight saving time, what'd you call it? Like the shift? So let's say like the game jam starts at 2 a.m., it ends at 2 a.m.
Oh
So you
my.
have 1 hour to make a game. It's insane. I've seen people I think I had like one or two friends that joined it. It was insane. Yeah. But speaking as a developer, games are hard, man. Even if it's like a visual novel,
Yeah.
like visual novels usually they're like, oh yeah, easy, make a story, and then bada bing, bada boom, text box. That's it. But like, it's also time consuming.
Even still, yeah.
So we shall move on to the last question that I have written down. Yes, we have a script. No, I am not just babbling on and on and on. This is so much of like a voice actor question
Mm.
because every person that you know who wants to get into voice acting would ask you this question.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. All
So
right.
the question is, do you have any tips for voice acting or acting in general?
All right. So I don't think I have enough experience to give tips, but what I have been given from other people is that it is all in the delivery of what you say, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So take time to act out your lines and don't rush it, even if it's, it's nerve-wracking for the first time. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of like, first time jitters are a real thing. You're afraid of initially messing up, like, oh no, did I say this line correctly? Oh wait, I forgot to add this inflection or like raise in
Mm-hmm.
voice at this part. But what really matters is that you sort of take the time for yourself to play those emotions out, or else you're just gonna
Mm-hmm.
have something that's rushed, unless you're
Yeah.
acting out, or you're acting out like a rushed character. But no, I'm sure that's not usually the case. So take time
Yeah.
to act out your lines, and always think about what you're gonna do for the delivery. And lastly, but last but not the least, it's to have fun. I guess like that's what everyone says after giving these tips of advice. But that really helps. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's much easier to take the nerves off of you if you think
Mm-hmm.
that if you're just enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that's what everyone wants to do, right? Just enjoy and have fun with what they do. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah, definitely. Mm. Honestly, that like tip of advice of just not rushing, like taking the time to actually do your lines, it's very common. Like I'm not sure if everyone has experienced this or if like pretty much I think it's a universal thing, but it also applies to voice acting. Like And like when you rush something, it might look obvious that you're rushing it and the quality just goes down, you know? Because like I've seen like cases of um voice actors where like they do a line over and over again, and they're getting impatient because they're getting impatient by like saying that line over and over again, and they just want to get it over with, and they get frustrated because they can't do it right. It shows in the line, it shows in the recording, and that is something that I also struggled with initially because number one, it's very nerve-wracking at first.
Yep.
And number two, I would be so frustrated by not getting a line right, especially under a blanket and with no ventilation in my room. It's very hot. Like, I didn't even have a fan. I didn't even turn the fan on because it would be heard by my mic. And I wasn't even using like a proper mic back then. I was using like a small lapel mic, I think. Yeah, a small lapel mic. Man, how the times have changed. I'm using a better mic now, don't worry. But like, yeah, that is really solid advice that you've given, honestly.
Thanks.
And
Thanks.
every voice actor just tells you to have fun too. I think everyone will just tell you to like have fun when you're doing a job or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I will say, voice acting, have fun. Game development, well, oops, don't do game development, guys. It's insane. It is very, you know, game development is very time consuming, but
Mm-hmm.
like, at least the end result is worth it. Maybe, if you get the result that you wanted, because for some games, you just don't get the result that you want. You have to compromise, but oh well. Anyways, an additional question. Are
Yes.
you are you gonna voice act for anything else? Maybe a certain game?
Oh yeah. All right. So this upcoming project, if you don't mind me like talking about it, Bryce.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So I'm essentially voicing this character named Big Marty for a project that we're talking that's called the Bible. He's essentially uh and I'm sorry if this paraphrasing is horrible, but like a lizard god that like jumps out of a poster and dates you.
I
But
will
yeah.
say the plot is a bit different now
Mm,
because it's a story about grief and loss and
mm,
newfound love and old love.
I see, I see.
And Big Marty has an actual name now, but I won't say here.
Oh, okay.
You'll just have to find out in the game for those that are watching, because a lot of the people that have subscribed to this channel actually, they came from Blooming Panic, which
Mm,
is the game where Big Marty is from. Big Marty is not a character in Blooming Panic. He's just a poster in the background. And for people that know Blooming Panic or have played Blooming Panic or in the server for that game, you will know that we've made a Big Marty religion, which is where this game, the Big Eyeball, stems from. So people that have played Blooming Panic or know Blooming Panic, stay tuned for the Big Eyeball because it has been going on for almost a year or two in development. And we've done so much for this game. I don't want it to go to waste. It will probably be out this year. I'm hoping for it to be out by early May or maybe late April. That's what I'm hoping for. But if not early May, then maybe near September or November. Anyways, thank you so much, Nahazuno. Thank you so much
yeah, no
for doing
problem.
this. And thank you so much for like actually wanting to voice read because holy shit. Your deadline.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like you have to record while doing plates? Shit.
Mm, yeah, that's how it goes. Is what it is.
Yeah, and I'm like coding and drawing and making music and writing, all while reading readings and like studying
Reading.
biology
Mm-hmm.
readings.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thank you so much. Please, everyone, wake me up if you need me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. On Itch.io.
Yep.
The link is down in the description below. You can follow Nahazuno's Instagram down below, and I have the names to my socials in the description as well. We also have, well, I also have the link to NaNoReNo if you want to know more about it. If you want to know more about like game jams in general, and we have the link to Wake Me Up If You Need Me in the description as well. So thank you so much. Woo!
Yeah, yeah.